What is up, everyone? I am Chris Knight, and you are watching Chaos Central here with the rule of three, normally on Sundays to wrap up the week. But today on Wednesday, because I had some conflicts on Sunday, so my fault, but that's okay. We're here today, and we have suspects with us. We're going to go ahead and let them introduce themselves as usual. And we're going to start with Nzo. Nzo, go ahead and tell everybody who you are, where you can be found, and what is your bank account number. And please.
What's up, people? You guys know where to find me. It's Biggaford Entertainment. And Chris, I'll give you mine when you give me yours first, you know?
I'll give you one that's like 15 years old. How about that?
No. I want the one that you're using currently right now. The one that your paycheck's going to right now.
Oh, okay, that one. I have conveniently forgotten all about that one.
I'll give you one better. You call your credit card company. You put my name on as an additional card holder, and then they'll send it to me, and we're good.
Oh, yeah.
That works.
Yeah,
right?
Well, that's great. Well, I'll go ahead and continue with telling them about yourself here.
Yes, guys, it's like I said, the channel is Biggaford Entertainment. Do a whole bunch of shows, Rule of Three, Chaos List, Chaos Conversation. We got Square One, we got Equilibrium, and Storms Live. If I missed one, I'm pretty sure Danny will mention it. Because wherever you see me, you see Danny, and fortunately, we're like tied at the hip, and I'm trying to get that chain off. You know what I mean? But he just keeps holding me back. He just keeps holding me back.
Hear this? Oh my word!
I don't know. Canadians, boy, I tell you,
man, they can be ruthless sometimes.
Nah, man, we are the nicest people you guys will ever meet.
Mm-hmm. And if that's nice, then wow, we got some problems. All right. Well, Danny, go ahead and tell everybody about yourself now.
I am Danny, aka Comic Chat. On my channel on YouTube, you can find me at Comic Chat. On Twitter, you can find me at Comic Chats 2. Several shows with you guys on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday nights. 9 p.m. on first two nights and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. Do a lot of shows together, like I said, Nzo. We have one on Saturday, usually at 4 p.m. called Square One. It's totally sports show. Try to talk about the current state of the NFL and the NBA, any other sports events that may come up during that time frame. Also, you can catch us on Sundays. Equilibrium has been off probably about a month now. And that's mainly my fault because, unfortunately, my primary profession, makes me work a lot on Mondays doing security work. So as that slows down and I'm free up, I get back into the regular schedule. But glad to be here on the show and ready to discuss these topics.
Indeed. All right. So we normally spin. We get 3 topics from the spins, random, how it goes, and all that fun stuff. But today I'm going to have to change this real quick here. Let me get the right question. Here we go. Okay. Well, today we have a question that Danny has posed to us that we're going to start with because it is really, really current events and it only has a limited shelf life, basically. So, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have a limited shelf life, but it is of the moment, and it's something important that we've all on our channel's been talking about. So let's start with this question, gentlemen. We're just going to jump into it with, how is Marvel going to respond to the Black Panther character now that Chadwick Boseman has passed? So who wants to start this?
Go ahead, start it up, Danny.
Okay, 3 minutes is on the board, and I'm going to share this so you can see the time. Sorry, here we go. 3 minutes on the board, and your time will start now.
I really don't know how Marvel is going to do this. There's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of things that certain fans want to see. A lot of things certain fans don't want to see. I already see that there's a divide, not an aggressive or malicious divide, but there is a divide. I've heard some people say that they should try and redeem the Killmonger character. I'm not of that group. I've heard some say that Shuri should try to become the next Black Panther. I am of that group. And I've heard that some people are saying they should try and recast Black Panther. I can kind of get down with that. I think a technique they want to use, if any of you are familiar with Judge Dredd, the first Judge Dredd starring Sylvester Stallone, you saw him with the helmet, without the helmet. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people say it's meh, whatever the case may be. The second Judge Dredd movie was just called Dredd, and it starred Carl Urban, and he wore the helmet the whole time. I like that movie better. So some people are saying they could use that same technique and just have whoever plays Black Panther, not say that he got killed off or anything or died, Chadwick Boseman, but this he would have his helmet on the whole time. I'm cool with that. That could work if they do it a certain way. I don't know how they're going to do anything in the throne room or when he's doing stuff privately, but that's an obstacle they can tackle if and when it gets to that point. There is source material where Shuri is the queen and gets the mantle of Black Panther. I think that's something that we can explore because she's already been exposed to the current Black Panther audience. They've connected with her, they vibe with her. In some scenes, she stole the show. There is a definite like for her. So I think physically she could bulk up, beef up, do whatever she wants to. And the storyline I would go with is that there is some kind of threat to Wakanda, be it Doom, be it Namor, whomever, and Wakanda is without a Black Panther. So she is going on some ancient stuff on how you can retrieve the Black Panther powers because there's no longer the heart-shaped herb to do that. So she goes on this quest to the Panther God and goes through whatever trials and tribulations that she has to do. And she finally is deemed worthy of the Black Panther powers, which granted by the Panther God is more substantial than they were by the heart-shaped herb. And she comes back and saves the day, fighting whatever threat there is to Wakanda. I think that would be hot. I think that would be fire. I think it's doable. But again, I don't know what Kevin Feige, Ryan Coogler have in store for us, but whatever it is, I think it's going to be tasteful and respectful.
Okay. Very, very good. Anzo, 3 minutes on the board. Your time starts now.
Yes, sir. What's up, guys? How you guys doing? So the question is, what should Marvel do? First off, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. I like to say that every time we talk about him because he's done a lot for us. But going back to the question now, is I've always said I think I would rather see Shuri take over the mantle of Black Panther than anything else. I really don't want to see them recast him. I know Black Panther is years away. It's maybe 2 years ago. I think it was 2022 where they said they were going to do it, right? And that's 2 years away. Maybe you can do it to maybe 3 or 4 years away and then recast him if that's really what you want to do, if you really feel that you need to recast him. But like Danny said, in the comics, Shuri was the Black Panther. So I'm like, why don't they just make Shuri the Black Panther? I've said it many times. Black Panther was a movie that inspired little black children. You know what I mean? Little boys in general, man. Everybody was screaming Wakanda forever, Wakanda forever. So if you can just imagine what that did for little boys, imagine what Shuri as Black Panther would do for little black girls. You know what I mean? So that's one of the things that I am definitely interested in seeing them do it. And they could do it simple. They could have like, you know, some of Marvel movies, they have a big action scene at the beginning. You can have a CGI Black Panther. You don't have to have them show him outside of the costume. Show him in a big battle where he's battling someone and he dies. You know, I mean, it's going to be hard to say. It's going to be hard to kill him when he really died in real life because they had the same issue with Fast and the Furious 7. But I'm saying if you do 2 or 3 years, people might be willing to accept the fact that T'Challa died, you know, so have a big fight scene, let him die, and then he has to pass the mantle over to Shuri. Shuri takes over the Black Panther mantle, and whoever they put as the villain, maybe Namor, maybe Doom, Shuri is the one that has to fight them and take him down. You give Shuri a strong villain to fight, and it makes her character even stronger, you know. Sherry was actually kind of stole the show. Some of the scenes she was in, you know what I mean? Like when she called Ross, was it Ross or whatever his name was, colonizer. I kid you not, my Facebook was flooded with everybody saying colonizer, you know? Anytime some white person made a comment, it's like, hey, colonizer, colonizer this, colonizer that, you know? So I think a female Black Panther would work. I also think if the story's done right, it could be another $1 billion movie because you're going to have parents taking their young daughters to go see this movie. So that's what I think they should do.
All right. Quick side question. Does the next Black Panther movie automatically make $1 billion?
I think so.
I mean, with what just happened, I don't think people are going to forget about this. I mean, it's going to simmer down, of course, over time. But as soon as that gets announced, as soon as we start hearing about it, they're going to start talking about, 2 years ago when Chadwick died or however long. So I think that type of press, there are going to be people who go see this just out of the memory. Because listen, what they did with Stan Lee at the beginning of Endgame, I could see them doing that for Chadwick Boseman.
Absolutely.
In the next Black Panther movie. And maybe not. Maybe they do a small thing for him in the next Marvel movie that goes out, which I can see that going on. But I can really see them playing it up at the beginning of a Black Panther 2.
Absolutely.
Danny, do you think it's an automatic $1 billion movie when it comes out?
I think so. I think if they do it right, I would definitely try and get it in Black History Month. I think that would definitely help.
Yeah.
I would promote it and do it in a very respectful and tactful way. I think a lot of people will go to it. I think it would make $1 billion.
Yeah, I think so too.
I have never heard anything negative about him in any shape, form, or fashion. Yeah. People need something, I think, to gravitate to and to show an example that there's still good in the world. Because right now we see all the negative stuff, and all the negative stuff is put front and center. To see somebody that everybody, black, white, old, young, thinks was a genuinely good person, I think would be very refreshing.
I agree.
All right. Let's see here. 3 minutes on the board for me. First things first, I think Marvel takes a step back from Black Panther right now. If we have him in other movies, it's going to be CGI or somebody, just in the Black Panther uniform. We're not going to see T'Challa out of that uniform. They may acknowledge that it's him. They may do something like use his vocal lines that he's used in past movies and splice together his voice. Of course, that's all a bunch of legal stuff that they're going to have to go through with his family and stuff. But I kind of think right now with what this movie meant and the character meant, as you said, Anzo, to the Black community, that's kind of something that I think they would see as a noble cause in limited amount. I'm not saying like use them in 40 minutes of a movie and have a whole ton of stuff where they're just CGIing him and all this other stuff. Respectful, quick amounts. But if he's in a movie, I think they can still work that out. But they're going to step back from Black Panther 2 right now. Whatever they're at, whatever stage they're at, pre-production, story, whatever. I think they're going to take a step back. And they're really going to try to feel out this. And I know we're talking Disney, but we're more importantly talking about Marvel, which still has enough of a separate feel away from Disney, surprisingly. There's a lot of Disney-esque stuff to it, but it's still very much separate. Feige's very much in charge at Marvel. So I think they kind of feel out people and see what the overall feel is. If there's a bunch of people calling for Siri to take over, then that's the direction I see them going. If there's a bunch of people that says, listen, we have to find a way to pass that mantle throughout the movie, then they're going to figure that out. They know how to use CGI to do that type of thing. Disney, the first one that really did it for a whole movie. I mean, there's a whole character in Rogue One. That's it throughout the whole movie. Yes, in limited amounts, but a very important character that a lot of people know.
And he didn't look too bad.
No, he didn't. And we're what, 4 years away from that now? 4 or 5 years. So by the time they come out with Black Panther 2, they could really do well. And we're already hearing about Paul Walker coming back in like Fast and Furious 10, maybe at the end of 9. So this is getting to the point where this is going to be easier to do. I can see them doing that, given it maybe 20, 30 minutes into the movie. I don't think they kill him because, like you said, that's just kind of a little too much. Perhaps he has to go. Perhaps he goes on a walkabout or a sabbatical or a crusade of his own to find himself and what his connection to the Black Panther and Wakanda really is. Something like that, perhaps. But I think that they have time to think this out first. So me personally, I could see a small shift for a bit of CGI work. I think that would be the most tasteful thing to do. It'd be really difficult to recast, but I do see them that the Shuri part is probably the best thing to go do. 3 minutes. Let's continue to talk about this. I mean,
the one thing I don't want them to do is what they're talking about is people are saying they should bring back Killmonger and make him the Black Panther. I don't want to see them do that.
Well, like I said, and I said this yesterday on your show, Nzo, that if that would have been the best thing to do had Chadwick decided that he wanted to tell Disney and Marvel. If he had told them, hey guys, I think we need to change the ending. And I think if he explained what was going on, that they may have done that. And I always wondered why they didn't do that. But
there is a story arc in the comic books where Killmonger does take over as Black Panther and he joins the Avengers. So there is source material to back that up. Whether or not they'll do it or not, I don't know. Whether or not they can maybe say that Black Panther decided to put him in some kind of suspended animation. I'm sure he was able to reprogram and kind of take some of his anger and how silly. I don't know. That's something that they could do because
they could.
She reprogrammed the Winter Soldier. So that same technology, maybe she could do that. I don't know, but I will say there is source material where Killmonger is Black Panther and he does join the Avengers.
And that's fine too, but they killed him. I don't want to bring him back. You know what I mean? He died. He died.
You don't
Let
know
him
they
die.
killed him.
Huh?
It appeared that they killed.
Yeah, right. But technically, he was because he said, "I don't want to live." He's like, "Kill me now." You know what I mean?
Well,
so let me die.
They did that. But the thing about it is I mean, I could see them in an end credit scene bringing him back that way, like whenever like show his eyes open up and then his face, and then have Shuri come over and go like, "Oh, I see you're awake. How are you feeling?" or something like that.
I get that too, right? But I'm just like, to me, it makes it seem like they're just trying to make up for what happened, and that's the issue because it doesn't feel like that was the plan from the first Black Panther.
And exactly, but the thing is, go ahead, Danny.
What may be possible too is based on Michael B. Jordan, and he was talking about what good friends they were. He may go to Ryan Coogler and say, "Hey, man, this is what I want to do to honor Chadwick. Let's do this. Let's go this approach." And they may write it in just some kind of way. Now, based on the character Killmonger play, I'm in total agreement with you, Nzo. I didn't like him at all, his character. But things happen, unfortunately. This has happened. So, based on how, and Michael B. Jordan is a very popular actor.
Oh, yeah.
Very popular. So, I could see them possibly kind of snapping the Infinity Gauntlet, and this is what we see.
There's several things that are important here. One, this is Marvel property. They're really particular about it. Two, Kevin Feige is in charge, not Kathleen Kennedy or Bob Iger. And three, they've got at least 4 years to do this right, to think about this and how do we do this and keep the momentum of Black Panther, because it was such a force when it came out. I mean, but they've got time, so
they do.
Yeah, so I'm sure we'll talk about this type of stuff here a little bit more later on this week on our different shows and stuff. But let's spin the wheel for the topic today. Since we started with the absolute, we had to kind of do that topic.
Yeah, because it makes no sense to keep it in there and then 2 weeks it pops up, you know?
Yeah, exactly. All right, after seeing Black Adam teaser trailer. Hold on, let me go back to full screen. Let me get this out of here. Okay, after seeing the Black Adam teaser trailer, what are your overall feelings about this movie going forward? So I will cut that out. I will put that into the chat for everybody, and we'll bring the 3 minutes up. And who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
Very good. 3 minutes on the board. Your time starts now.
First off, I just want to say, like, Danny did an 8-minute video on it, so we know what he thinks. And his video was funny, so you guys definitely need to go check that out. I mean, the first 10 minutes of that shit had me laughing. But yeah, with the Taylor trees, my feelings are excited for it, you know? I watched the whole DC fandom, like every single one. It wasn't the one that I was the most excited for, just probably because they didn't really show any clips or anything. But man, the way he was talking, like if there's certain things that they plan to do, like maybe bringing in the JSA or even the Justice League, I am definitely down for that, right? Because I like Shazam, but I don't think it's only going to be Shazam that's going to be fighting Black Adam, you know, so he's gonna have some villains in there, and we have Rock, so we already know that Rock can do some action movies, man. You know, his acting is good. A lot of people say that, you know, he's cast type, I guess, or he acts the same in all of his movies, and I don't actually feel that way. I really don't. I mean, some of them, yes, but if you go back and you watch Jumanji, the second one, where he actually has to pretend to be Danny DeVito,
Yes.
You know what I mean? Does an amazing job. So I've always liked Rock from wrestling. I've always felt he had the charisma. So now you're going to bring that charisma to a Black Adam, and you're going to have him fight some JSA members, whoever they put in it. I don't care. Hawkeye, Hawkgirl, whoever, Stargirl. Hawkman, that's it, Hawkeye.
No, I was. Go ahead. I'll talk about it in my 3 minutes. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no problem. So for me, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that movie. I just wish they would have, because the Batman only was 25% done, and they had a trailer for it. So I wished maybe they would have had something, even if it was just The Rock in the actual Black Adam suit instead of the picture. That would have hyped me up even more. But I mean, at the same time, just the way The Rock was carrying it, he has the passion. He's been trying to play Black Adam for how many years now?
At least, I want to say like 5 or 6.
Exactly.
I mean, this was talked about back when the DCEU stuff was really kicking in.
Yep, exactly. So my point is, let's get that Black Adam movie going. You know, it's definitely a movie that could and possibly make $1 billion. We could have a trilogy of Black Adam movies. You know, I know there's some times where he has fought on the good side, so they could show that too. Just imagine him fighting alongside Superman and Batman. Oh man, that would be amazing. I am definitely excited for Black Adam. Facts.
Absolutely. They could have superimposed him, like get him in the thing, have him do poses, and just take pictures of him like they did the drawing.
Yeah.
Except superimpose himself into it.
Exactly.
I would have liked to see that. When you said that, I'm like, ooh, that would not have taken anything. Green screen. Here's a test suit. We don't even have to get. It could be something different. That would have been awesome. Danny, 3 minutes on the board. You ready?
I am ready, sir.
You had an 8-minute video. This is only 3 minutes, so make sure you concise it and people go watch that video. Here you go. 3 minutes on the board. Your time starts now.
I am definitely ready to see Black Adam. I think this movie is going to give clout to the Shazam franchise, which I'm not overly excited about. The movie was meh, and like I said in my video, ranking it from 1 to 10, if 1 being a stinky pile of turtle shit and 2 being awesome, I'm going to give it a 5.5, a 6 on a good day. I'm not giving it any more than that. I don't care whether you like it or not. I did not like Zach Levi's costume because he wasn't the muscles. He like it was muscles that was sewed in. I didn't care for that. When you know The Rock going against Henry Cavill, that are those guys. They didn't have too much suit work to it. So you need to go ahead and put in the work and the commitment if you want to hang with those two guys. So I definitely think, maybe not in Black Adam, but Shazam 2 or Black Adam 3 or Black Adam versus Shazam, whatever they're going to name the third movie, we are going to see Henry Cavill, Black Adam, and Shazam fight. So he better get himself up. I don't want to see no fake-ass suit and the other two looking super. Now, we know that one of Superman's weaknesses is magic. I didn't make the shit up. That's what the comic book, that's what the creator of Superman put in as one of his weaknesses. Black Adam is the master of magic, one of the masters of magic. So I think Superman is going to have his hands full. I hope to see him shed some whatever color blood he got. I am team Black Adam. I don't want them to make Black Adam no anti-hero. I want him to be a bad guy through and through and through. I know people always say, well, look, we were hearing Black Adam for the last 10 or 12 years. True, I can't fault that. But I definitely think that now there is something called a perfect storm. Now a perfect storm is brewing. Dwayne Johnson has the money, he has the power, he has the popularity, and he has leverage over there to say, look, y'all want to compete with Marvel? Here, I'm giving you something to compete with Marvel. People want to see Black Adam versus Superman. Let's make it happen. I got Superman here for you. Henry Cavill is on my same management team that my ex-wife, Danny Garcia, is managing. So I got access to him. We brainstorm every day. I can't guarantee that Wonder Woman is going to be $1 billion movie, but I can almost guarantee I'm going to predict today, September 2nd at 8:30 p.m. Center time, that's going to be $1 billion movie. If it ain't, I'll come on here and say I was wrong or whatever. I'll take my lumps, but I'm predicting that would be $1 billion movie.
I'd only make you take the lumps if it was like 600 million. If it was 859, 950 around there, I'm going to say, listen, it unfortunately, and I'll get to my 3 minutes here in a second, but unfortunately, DC movies just seem to underperform, not because of who's in it. It just kind of seems.
I agree with you. I agree with that, but there is no way that Henry Cavill and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is going to underperform Jason Momoa.
I believe that
$1 billion movie, they're going to make $1 billion movie.
I believe. I'm on board with you too. Don't think I'm not.
Before you start, Danny, don't think I didn't just catch you steal my word, eh? Don't think I didn't catch that.
What word? What word?
Meh. When you said the movie was just meh. I caught it.
All right, 3 minutes on the board for me. Let's see here. Man, I'll tell you what. I watched. I liked the Justice League trailer. Really did. A lot of it was old stuff, and then they threw in the new stuff. And that was cool. The Batman trailer, loved that one. I'm so much more stoked for that movie than I was before that trailer. Wonder Woman, seen it already. I want to see it. I just don't think I'm I have questions about it with Steve coming back into the fold and how that's going to play out. So there, of all of them, I think that's the one that I'm like kind of on the fence about how it's going to end up. But when I saw that Black Adam trailer, the way they did it, I was like, wow. I was just taken aback because, and I think that there's two things to this. One, it made a ton of people who may not have been excited for this project really excited. I mean, I was ready for this. I've been hearing about this. This is really important, like Danny said, to the Shazam series. I really, really was looking forward to seeing this. Then I see this teaser trailer, and I'm like, now I'm even that much more. My only thing is with it looking so much like a comic book, and it's talking like a comic book, and it just all of this stuff in it. The longer they let this stay out there as the representation of what they're going to get, the more they're going to be judged on that, not what the movie might be. And we said it before we shot. They need to get something out that's live action, test footage, something. They need to get that out there to start showing people what they're really going to be getting. Now, maybe this is what they're going to be getting. Maybe this is going to just be straight up what they get. And if that's the case, this could be one of the highest grossing movies of all time.
Wait. Of all time? Or do you mean
well,
DC?
I'm not going to go with adjusted gross. I mean,
you think it could beat Endgame?
I don't think that can, but I think Justice League 2 could.
Well, there's that. But surprisingly enough, depending on how much farther out it is, it might give it a run for its money, and just being a single one character movie, that's gonna be crazy. I mean, what's Endgame at right now?
Like $2 billion.
Well, I do think it will outperform any Star Wars movie.
No, that's nothing anymore these days.
No. Star Wars movies make $1 billion. I'm saying it's going to be like 1.5. What I'm saying,
yeah, and that's what I think. Which is for a single character movie.
Did all the sequels make $1 billion?
Do what?
I think all of them made it except
Solo.
Last Solo. I didn't. I don't think. I don't know.
Yes.
I know Solo didn't. That's for sure.
Solo's the only one that didn't make. I'm not sure about the four. Damn. What's the one? I'm not sure about Rogue One, but the rest of all of the last 3 Star Wars movies made
$2 billion.
$32 million. Right now, with all the other countries, it's 1.056. So yeah, it's.
I don't think it'll make $2 billion. So I'm wrong on that. I don't think that Black Adam will make $2 billion. So I'm saying now I am wrong because Force Awakens did.
All right,
Brad.
All right, Brad. My God, I'm gonna call him Brad Pitt because of the damn oceans thing. He's always eating.
Yeah, right.
I know. Danny's been fucking munching on every single stream so far, bro. What's up with that?
All right, let's do it here. 3 minutes together on this.
I'm taking this super pill. It's called NRG or something.
Yeah.
It helps with your recall and gives you energy. It also curbs your appetite. So I don't eat like hardly any breakfast, a small lunch, and then at night instead of eating a big meal, I munch on nuts to try to.
What'd you say it does? It helps with your memory?
Yeah, memory, appetite, energy.
What's it called?
NRG.
And it's for what, GNC? Or something like that?
I get it from a friend of mine's sister who is a that works and deals it.
A friend of a friend.
Yeah. I had a pack of. I'll show it to you, man. I'll see you the link afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah,
please. All right, 3 minutes on the board to talk about this together. First off, Black Adam, for those of you who want to know, is an anti-hero.
Yes.
And the current trend of his, I think, is a corrupt anti-hero, and he's trying to clear his name, but in order to do so, he doesn't care who he has to go through or what he has to do. I think this is really cool. I love Deadpool for Marvel, but Black Adam is so much better of an anti-hero because he doesn't care even more.
Well, the one thing Rock said is he's going to be bad. He's like, don't worry, I am going to be bad. You know what I mean?
Even if he's an anti-hero, I think even when he went to be a hero occasionally, he still did. He was just, it's my way. I don't care what you guys do. You do what you do over there. I'll take care of it. But
okay, if y'all read it, I got the book. Whatever.
Yeah.
Shazam 52. Basically, Shazam is fucking up. Surprise. And Black Adam has to come and save him before Shazam messes up the whole magical world and all that kind of stuff, and it spills over into the real world. So I don't know whether or not they're going to eventually get to that, but knowing The Rock, he's probably going to be bad the first movie or whatever, maybe second. But I guarantee you, we're going to be cheering for him because that's his MO.
Yeah.
If you watch Faster, he came out, he was killing everybody. By the end of the movie, we was cheering for The Rock. So, and he has children. It's very important to his daughters that they see their father in a favorable light. So he's going to make movies so his children can watch.
It's going to be an origin story, but they're going to tell it from a cloudy point of view. Like, we don't know what's really going on. All we know is this guy
kind of like Venom.
Yeah, he's going to start busting heads. He's going to start going through people to get it, and they're going to set up a point of something he's trying to accomplish. But the way we're going to see it at the beginning of the movie is it's because he's greedy, he's evil, all that. And as the movie goes along, there will be something thrown into there in his backstory that makes it make sense to the point where we're like, okay, he's not the nicest guy, but
he has your ass.
Yeah, I see him being like maybe the Loki of the DC universe. You know what I mean?
The comedy.
He'll be good when it suits him. He'll be good when it suits him.
Yes. So yeah. No, definitely.
But no. Sorry, and no, you better believe there's going to be comedy with The Rock.
Oh yeah, there will be. I mean, his one-liners.
I'm telling you, I would love for like Superman to fly up. He said, "Who are you supposed to be?" And he said, "I'm It doesn't matter if he does that." I will stand up and clap for the next minute.
That would work.
Because one of his Rock impersonations or catchphrases in that movie, I will fall the hell out.
Yeah, I'd be happy to see that.
I was gonna say though that if we're talking $1.5 billion, do you realize what that means for a singular character movie? That's crazy. I mean,
Aquaman was a singular character and it made $1 billion.
Which one?
Aquaman. Yeah, Aquaman did make $1 billion.
Despite itself. God. I mean, I didn't hate that movie, but man.
Really? I thought it was okay. I thought it was.
That's what I mean. I didn't hate it. I just.
It was better than Shazam.
Listen, it could have been. I don't know about that. I liked Shazam a little better, but Aquaman though, for what it is, and the stuff that's been said about it in the past. I mean, think of this
is one place where DC was smart. DC went out and found out, and I'm not saying this, but one of the so-called sexiest men alive and casted him. A lot of that money is female audience watchers. Cause I got ladies that work at my office. Oh my God, when you say Jason Momoa or Jason Statham, I'm like, oh my God, it's like a waterfall.
Yeah, because Wonder Woman didn't even make $1 billion.
No, and I would much rather see Gal Gadot than Jason Momoa.
Men just don't put the money towards the butts. Never mind.
And Black Panther made 1.3, right? But just imagine how much more it would have made if China wasn't as racist as they were.
You got a point there.
And there's another singular character that made $1 billion.
That's true. That's very true. All right. Final topic of the night. Do you believe that J.J. Abrams made treatments for episode 8 and 9 and that Rian Johnson ignored them?
You talking about for Star Wars?
Yeah. So
I'm just telling you. Okay. Who's starting first?
Yeah, you go, Danny.
3 minutes on the board. Go.
I'm just disappointed with the last 3 Star Wars. I'm not gonna say. Well, the last one was garbage. When I first saw it, I was kind of in love with the fact it was a Star Wars movie. But after I watched it, and then I read the book, and I tried to see if it made more sense. Some spots it did, some not so much. But I just wish that they would just say, George, we fucked up. We need you to come back, help us get back on track. Make sure when we going off track that you gently ease us back on there. I know Kathleen Kennedy's your girl, but she just sometimes stuff just don't work. Sometimes personalities clash. Sometimes stuff just does not work. So let's put her to the side and let her do something else. Even though, if in a business standpoint, her movies were profitable. Under her watch, Star Wars was profitable. There's an argument that, look, if it would have been somebody else, it would have been even more profitable. But we can't count even more. We can only count what's in the bank. So I'm not totally going to blame her. I'm not going to keep beating that dead horse. I think he should definitely let Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni take over, collaborate with George Lucas, and do something different. I'm tired of seeing stories about Jedi. I want to see more stories about either the Old Republic. In specific, I want to see stuff about the Sith. There is, contrary to Kathleen Kennedy's belief, there is source material. So somebody should start reading some of these books. I say read. Well, I'm not a big fan of what's the word I'm looking for? I did a comment on. I don't mind going back to the other books, the EU books. You don't have to be what's the word?
Canon.
Canon, yes. I don't give a damn about canon as it relates to Star Wars. Go back to some of the EU books. There are good stories in there. The Ruler 2, Darth Bane, all those stuff. They can do stories on that. And I'm telling you, those books are fantastic. They could do Shatterpoint. That's the story of Mace Windu. I read the book. I'm telling you, there's a lot of stuff they could pull from that's not necessarily canon. So I don't know whether JJ did it or not, but whatever he did, it did not work. So if something doesn't work, the definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over and over and expect a different response. It is 7, 8, and 9, and all three of them was a failure to the Star Wars fans.
Do you believe he had an outline?
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
I do not know.
Okay. Anzo, 3 minutes on board. Your time starts now.
Okay. So those of you guys who follow me and checked out my stuff, actually know that I am not a big fan of the sequels, right? There's things in them that I like, but just all in all, I wasn't a big fan of them. And do I think J.J. Abrams made treatments for episode 9 and 8 and 9? Absolutely, I do. He had to, because he created Rey, he created Kylo Ren, right? So at least he had to know their backstories. He had to know the beginning of them, and he had to know the end of them, where they wanted to be, right? Because you're building a story around these characters. So definitely he did have treatment. And I was trying to look for it while Danny was talking, but I believe there's two things. There was the editor, or J.J. Abrams' editor, says that he did write the treatments and Rian Johnson threw them out. But I also seen an article with, I think it was a creator of the Clone Wars cartoon or something like that. I can't remember, where he literally said that Rian Johnson not only threw out the script, but he didn't care for anything that happened before. So he was basically saying that Rian Johnson went in there and just did what he had to do. Now, again, I know a lot of these guys may be bitter because of what happened with the Star Wars sequels, but at the same time, there has to be some truth to it, right? Because like I said, if I'm creating a trilogy movie and my main character is Rey or whoever, I'm going to at least know who she is, where she starts, where the middle is, and where the end is of that part of the story. So he may have told him, I mean, people are thinking when they say treatments that he had like a whole script and wrote it down. No, he probably said, listen, okay, this is where I started. This is what I want Rey to be. This is what I want to happen to Kylo Ren. This is the part of the story, blah, 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 blah. Do what you want with that. And I think Rian Johnson just said, you know what? I don't like this. I don't think that. I think this. I want to do it this way. And Kathleen Kennedy backed him up. Kathleen Kennedy said, hey, you know, I like your ideas better than JJ's. So you know what? Let's do that. And by doing that, it ruined what JJ was trying to do. So when the Rise of Skywalker came out, he had no other choice but to retcon some stuff or to work around what Rian Johnson did. You know, so that's what I'm saying. It's like, I definitely believe that he did explain to them where these characters were to go. And I believe that Rian Johnson just said, fuck it. I'm going to do what I need to do. You know, so that's definitely what I think. So that's what I think.
Okay. All right. 3 minutes on the board now. So did he have treatments? Well, he may have known beginning and end, but he obviously didn't tell anybody else, because here's the deal. There are articles, and I do have a couple picked up here. I don't like the one that talks about according to Rian Johnson, because it's horrible. But there's a part in okay. We had conversations with Ryan at the beginning. It's been nothing but collaborative. The perspective that at least personally I got from stepping away from it and seeing what Ryan did strangely gave us opportunities that would never have been there, because of course he made choices no one else would have made in a way that I felt kind of like a gift. Though of course there were challenges in every direction. It was actually weirdly more helpful than not, having that other energy to the story. There was an alchemy because of the things he did. That was something J.J. Abrams said about it. So here's the deal. J.J. Abrams was your executive producer. If he didn't like it, he could have stopped it. And proof of that is that Kathleen Kennedy trashed what J.J. Abrams tried to do with The Rise of Skywalker. There's constant people that have mentioned time and time again that she stepped in and changed and asked for reshoots and then told them, nope, this has to happen in this reshoot. Second thing is, at the end of The Force Awakens, Rian Johnson personally asked J.J. Abrams to change the ending. Originally, BB-8 was supposed to be with Rey, and he said, no, I want R2-D2 there. So there was already something that he had in mind, and he probably explained it to him. In everything I have read before The Last Jedi came out, JJ specifically said I did not give him anything as far as where to go with it. I told him make it his story, and it won't interfere with what we have planned. Next up, Trevorrow, who was originally supposed to do Rise of Skywalker, Duel of Fates, whatever you want to call it, said that why he left was there's creative differences, and that all the way through that he was a part of it through like the first little bit of The Last Jedi being shot. I can't remember exactly when he left. He said there was not one word about Emperor Palpatine coming in. And he also said there was not one word about Rey being a Palpatine. If this is true, and there's other people that point to this stuff too, this is J.J. Abrams trying to save face on his own. I'm not saying Rian Johnson didn't do something that was totally radical and kind of screwed with the whole series. But the fact of the matter is J.J. Abrams could have stepped in at any time and said, hey, whoa, we can't do that. I gotta have Snoke for the last movie. If he had treatments, he didn't tell anybody else, because there was way too many people who were a part of this that said they didn't know anything about this.
You could find just as much that say there is.
Well, the fact of the matter is then why didn't it turn out better? Like, why didn't he stop The Last Jedi?
I'm looking because Kathleen Kennedy has the last laugh. Kathleen Kennedy has the right to say, nope, we're doing what JJ wanted to do. Look right here. I have one. Daisy Ridley, director, says, she says it. So
I think they trolled. I think this was all trolling after the fact. 3 minutes on the board about this. See, so and I had several of these saved because I knew this topic would come up eventually. But J.J. Abrams actually said before the movie came out, The Last Jedi, he said, no, I didn't give him any parameters that he had to follow. I said, make it your movie. And this was a direct quote from J.J. Abrams. Not from, and the problem is the one article I do have picked up here is the one that says, you know, what J.J. Abrams thinks about The Last Jedi, according to Rian Johnson. This was December 18th, 2017. I don't want to go off of what Rian Johnson says because I don't believe a damn word he says either. So that's besides the point.
Right.
And I mean, if you want to talk for a second, I'll see if I can find it because I had it saved here somewhere. So go ahead.
I want to say something. I want to be extremely brutally honest with this. This topic means donkey shit to me.
I understand.
And reason I'm saying that is because they have destroyed Star Wars. They have divided the fans so much. To right now, I really just don't even care about Star Wars. I think they should retcon anything that's canon, anything EU, whatever, and just come up with something. There are three people on this planet that should get together. There's George Lucas, Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni. Maybe they need to start charting out a whole new Star Wars that doesn't involve ones that we love. Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia. Just let them die, whatever the case may be, and start off 100 years after that or 1,000 years before something. Because what they're trying to do now is not working. I don't want to see Finn. I don't want to see what's the girl name?
Ray.
I think her.
Ray.
I don't want to see them anymore. To me, Ray. Both of them suck. I don't give a damn about either one of them. So start back with something new, characters we don't know, characters that are interesting that we can fall in love and re-fall in love with Star Wars. Because right now, most fans do not like it. The younger fans do, but the fans in our age limit, from what I'm hearing, I could be wrong, don't like it. And we're not in love with Star Wars like we once were. So I think they should just scrap it and start all over again.
Okay.
I definitely agree with you. I wouldn't say scrap it, but like I've said before, maybe 100 years in the future or 100 years in the past, I'm okay with that, you know? But a lot of people need to remember, though, the prequels did the same things. You know what I mean? Maybe not to this degree, but
so much better than Anzo.
I agree.
And people let George kind of fluff up what he wanted and flub it up himself because it was George. I mean, I have no problem with somebody who is the property, who is the be all end all of it. If he fucks with something, well, I guess you got nothing to say except for, well, who knows better than he does?
No, I don't mean fucks anything, but I mean he like the fans were divided with the prequels.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Go ahead.
Star Wars has the ultimate formula for getting the fans back: a menacing villain, a good guy, and a kick-ass lightsaber scene. You put those three things together, and you're gonna bring the people back. That's what made me fall in love with the prequels. Get somebody kick-ass. You're gonna get somebody that's even more menacing than Darth Vader, somebody even more righteous than Luke Skywalker, and get a kick-ass lightsaber scene, and you will bring the fans back. Let the story make sense. The formula is easy.
Okay. So the first thing here is this is Star Wars Last Jedi director asked for the droid swap in The Force Awakens. And so, like I said, yes, the big favor was I asked if R2 could come with Rey and if BB-8 could stay behind with the Resistance. Johnson says originally it was BB-8 who went with Rey, which makes sense for the story in a way. But I asked, can you do this one solid? As everyone knows, Force Awakens saw R2 spending most of his time in sleep mode. So there was one thing. He purposely asked for a change and he got it. So already J.J. Abrams makes a change for Rian Johnson for whatever reason. I think this is the one. So this is from September 12th of 2017. And this is talking about how they made the change. Like I said, it was right before The Last Jedi got released. So at this point in 2017, there was no mention of Palpatine. And basically that's when Last Jedi was coming out. So if he had a plan, then it should have already been known here. But Colin Trevorrow, still attached until this point, says that there was no Palpatine in it. That means there was a major course correction, which means to me,
because Rian Johnson killed Snoke.
Well, that's fine, but this is
Ryan Johnson
Maybe.
kills Snoke.
But
That's exactly why they had to bring in Palpatine.
I'm looking for if this is Fooey. I'll look for the other one I've got because I got like 6 or 7.
You seem generally frustrated about this.
No, I'm just saying it isn't. Wait. Oh, here we go.
I'll just say for me, there's too many contradicting arguments. So who really knows if they did or not? You know what I mean? And
I'm
one
looking
article,
for the quote though from J.J. Abrams because that's kind of where.
Yeah, but people say things all the time that they don't mean in Hollywood.
Why would he say that if it wasn't true?
Why would Ray Parker say working with Josh Whedon was the best thing that ever happened, and then come out and trash him?
Well, that's an actor. That's different when it's an actor. I think.
Why is it different when it's an actor?
Because they're under contract.
But it's a director.
Yeah, that's great.
So is hold on, J.J. Abrams under contract as well.
It doesn't. But J.J. Abrams is above Ryan Johnson at this point,
right? But he's not above Disney.
Him. All he has to do is
but he's not above Disney, so he's not going to trash anything that Disney does. John Boyega wasn't trashing Disney until after either.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, I'm going from stuff that was in 2017. If he had an issue, and if he actually had treatments, stuff would have been said starting then.
No, they wouldn't have.
I think there would have been.
No, they wouldn't have.
Again, why do you have 2 different directors, and 3 different directors if you count J.J. Abrams himself, stating that there was no original plan? And like Tommy here even says, originally there was no original plan for all. They were doing 3 separate directors, 3 movies, and
there was no original plan.
Able to do. But what I'm saying is there had
to have been. There had to have been. You cannot create a hold on.
No, look at the Star Trek.
Hold on, let me finish. You cannot create characters like Rey and Kylo and not have a start and finish to end to them.
But J.J. Abrams does that.
How do you know? I don't believe that.
Because look at his other movies.
I don't believe that.
The laziness behind switching the Khan thing at the end. It's like he never goes in with a plan. He goes in with this grandiose idea.
You find that lazy. I loved it.
It was ridiculous.
I loved it. I loved the fact that it was Kirk that sacrificed himself.
And I just didn't like, what's the point of that?
I didn't like.
It was like,
I did not like the fact that they brought him back in the same movie like 10 minutes after he died.
I don't want to see a reshoot of a movie I've already seen that's 10 times better than that movie.
The point is, he's still trying to say that there's a correlation between the 2 universes, right? Even though things have changed, they still kind of went on the same path that they did in the original timeline.
I think J.J. Abrams is a poor man's like Kubrick. He doesn't think like Kubrick does because Kubrick would throw things in there that until Kubrick said it, you're like, holy crap, what the hell?
You don't know JJ, so you don't know if he's like that. You don't.
But he never gives an answer.
But he never finished the Star Trek series, right? He wanted to leave it from the first one. He only wanted to do the first one. He didn't want to do second or third.
He didn't want to direct these last 2. Again, proof positive that he didn't have a plan for all 3 of them.
I'm not saying he had a plan. He had an outline. He had to have had an outline.
A plan is an outline. A plan doesn't mean I have step by step. I'm just saying that if Trevorrow's coming in here and he said, when I was attached to episode 9, there was no talk of Palpatine. There was Rey was not a Palpatine.
Because
all of this stuff. Why do we change it after?
Because they killed Snoke.
Fine, you killed Snoke. That's all right. You don't have to
happen.
Listen. Easier way of doing this. You already made force projection. What better way to make Kylo Ren turn into this person that Snoke was trying to make him by making him think he killed Snoke, and then you just prove nope, he was somewhere else using force projection.
Because the force projection was a Ryan Johnson thing.
Doesn't matter. You can still use that and then say, look, nope, right back. He's right back here. He
didn't like it.
Not dead. Doesn't
matter. He didn't like it. But that's the thing.
You can keep your story. You could.
And then hold on. And then another thing too. If I'm a director and I have an outline, right, and I say this is where I want Snow, he maybe didn't tell him about the story, but he had Rey and he had Kylo and he had their paths. Hold on, let me finish. right? And then this guy comes in and rewrites my shit and does it differently, I'm gonna be pissed. And that's why in The Last Jedi, there was a lot of things that he retconned from Rise of Skywalker that he retconned from The Last Jedi. Because he's like, yo, he pissed him off for what he did.
What the hell? Like I said, okay, so of all the things you retcon, you don't retcon Snoke back into it.
But how though? That's not what he wanted to do with Snoke.
It didn't matter how. He didn't explain how he just totally blows off everything, almost everything.
Why they did and what they did, I couldn't tell you because I'm not in the processing room.
My point is, I don't think there was any outline, and I think the proof positive is the fact that you got so many people who were on board to direct and stuff that have said that wasn't the way it was.
And I can show you just as much that says there is. That's why I said everything is
that came long after The Last Jedi.
Okay.
Before The Last Jedi, JJ was all about this is Rian Johnson's movie.
Because he's
got carte blanche to do what he wants.
Why is that so hard to understand? He's a sign with Disney. Danny, if you have a crew of 40 people, right? And then you have one person who's the shit disturber, what are you going to do?
Do what Trevorrow did, walk away.
Actually, Trevorrow was fired.
I'm going to try and get rid of the shit disturber.
Exactly. So you have to play ball, especially when you had that guy on your stream, bro. That that Indian dude there that you did the one-on-one with. When he was on Midnight's Edge, he basically said that if you go against Disney, they will fire your ass right away.
If they're not listening to me, then it doesn't matter. I'm going to come out and say, well, they didn't listen to me. So if you don't like this movie, not my fault. And it took him another 2 some odd years to even start saying that.
Same thing with John Boyega. John Boyega wasn't trashing Star Wars until 2 years later.
By the time they finished shooting 9, everybody was trolling this. I don't believe one thing. Right. I don't believe one thing. I think the reason why they leaked that, why the script was leaked, was because all they were trying to do is keep it in people's face so people would go watch it.
So you think John Boyega trashing it was just to keep it in people's face?
Yep.
Bullshit.
No, I honestly believe it.
That's bullshit.
Just like Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill did it. I still think
2 days ago.
I don't care.
2 days ago. So if you're trashing it for
if it's a shit show, it's a shit show. It doesn't matter how
and if you're trashing it 2 days ago, that means you are genuinely still 2 years later he's trashing it. So you were genuinely upset with what happened in that because you're still holding on to that 2 years later.
You're seeing that very same process in his stream. I can't believe we discussing this shit with this intensity 2 years later. My mind is blown.
That's my point. And all I'm saying is with all the contradicting information, who actually really knows what happened? Who does?
I think because there's so much contradicting evidence
to
this.
They got to get rid of they got to stick to what they know, because in Force Awakens, what's the one thing that you remembered? Not Force Awakens, but in Rogue One, what's the scene that you remember the most out of everything?
The Darth Vader.
The Darth Vader scene at the end. Mm-hmm. So they're going to extend that instead of 3 minutes.
Arc and stuff and things like that. But yeah, I mean, no, everybody
what's the most memorable scene in that movie? The last 3 minutes. Mm-hmm. So they got to take that and extend it. Maybe 20-minute fight scene.
On the scene on Mustafar in Vader's castle, I was like, okay, this is awesome. That was a big part. But yeah, most of it's the Vader scenes. You're right. And but here's the thing. I think that you just got to set the atom bomb off in Lucasfilm, and you got to find the people who know have.
They got Dave Filoni. They got Jon Favreau.
That's what I mean.
I will start there.
And they need to consult with George Lucas.
Let's distance ourselves from because they are crap. And let's write down something that we would. Let's go 200 years into the future and write what would happen.
If you let Filoni and Favreau, or one of those two, or those two as a pair, or some combination, whatever of that, if you let them take over, I would say right now, and I'll do the Danny thing on September 2nd, 9:05 your guys' time. I will say that if Favreau and Filoni become the heads, or again, some combination of that, become the head of Lucasfilm. And Kathleen Kennedy is no way attached to Disney, Lucasfilm, or anything like that, because that's a big part of this.
Absolutely.
If they come in and they take over Lucasfilm, I would say right now that you will see a Star Wars movie that has George Lucas at least in the credits as a writer. I don't know about anything else.
I agree.
And this is what they need to do, because one of the things I have with the Star Wars is the dialogue does not feel like George Lucas's dialogue.
No.
You know what I mean? It kind of feels more like Star Wars mixed with Star Trek.
It's lackadaisical.
Yeah, and I don't like that. I don't like that.
They had a moment, in my opinion, to recapture the Star Wars lure and make people make new fans fall in love with it, and make us older fans fall in love with it again. When they had Luke going against Kylo Ren, that should have been an epic lightsaber duel.
It should have been.
It would have saved the movie had it been. But that force projection, while it was a great feat, it was underwhelming to me. I left the theater like,
it should have been. He should have been able to cross sabers with him. He should have been able.
That would have saved the movie. That would have saved that movie in my opinion.
Yeah, because nobody else you wouldn't have thought of anything. In fact, if Luke had been able to do that and stave him off and save them, and they get away,
badass,
and then exactly, and then actually show him like the prequel fights, kind of be able to do what the prequel fights were like. If you showed him doing that, and then he kind of goes off to goes back in the cave after Kylo runs away because he got hurt or something. And if he went back into the cave and made sure that they were gone, and then he sees Rey do her thing with the rocks, and he sees that, he feels a sense of relief, and then you see him fall down and disappear, that would have worked. I do believe you're right.
You see, for me, absolutely not. Dying from using the Force, I cannot stand that. I hate it. I don't like them dying from. No. This is what
Force.
Nobody's ever done that before.
I don't care. Because Luke is supposed to be the most powerful Jedi. You understand? You're not supposed to die from using the Force. Now, what I would have liked for them to have done is Luke actually fight Kylo Ren and Kylo kill Luke. I would have been okay with that. But I do not like the fucking. I do not like the fucking dying.
Not with this being a star. Not okay. Again, more to the point.
Okay, they killed Luke anyways, so why not make Luke go out in a blaze of glory instead of fading away with using the Force?
I hear what you're saying on that, but I'm saying, let's just say if we're using the principles and laws of the Force in the real world, don't you think if you was to astral project yourself from Canada to South Carolina, that would be some kind of strain that maybe your body couldn't stand?
Exactly.
I don't believe so. I don't believe so with the Force. I just, personally or not, no, I don't think that should happen, because I want to see how powerful Luke is. So if you're gonna do that, don't make him die by doing that. Like dying by the Force is stupid.
I'm saying he does defeat. He fights everything, and he beats Kylo. Then the strain of projecting himself and the fight, defeating him handily. Then he dies. I don't have a problem with that.
Look how old Yoda was, right? And then
Yoda was not human.
I don't care. Look how old Yoda was, right? Yoda was limping. Yoda was limping with a cane. Yeah. Pulled in that Force power and did all these fucking young.
I agree with you. Yoda has never astral project himself over a damn galaxy,
but that doesn't have to kill him.
Time out. Here's another thing about this, and we're kind of going away from this, that this was supposed to be the finish of the Skywalker saga.
Yes.
If JJ had a plan, wouldn't you have at least said that since since Kylo is the closest thing to a Skywalker because he has Skywalker blood in him, that you would have finished the movie with him as the Skywalker, no matter if Luke was killed by him or not? There's the problem.
No.
At the end of it, you have somebody just taking the mantle.
I didn't want Kylo Ren to be redeemed, though. That's the thing. I didn't want Kylo Ren to be redeemed at the end. I wanted him be the bad guy. He could have still been the Skywalker that just took the different path that Luke did. And if you have Kylo Ren kill Luke, it shows you how much more powerful Kylo Ren is.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
They just. I think the three of us can agree on one thing about this. They totally fucked up and mishandled this trilogy. It's not even a trilogy. It's not even a trilogy. And I mean, and you know, I'm just saying that we don't know. You're right, Anzo. We don't know. There's so much crap out there right now that back talks everything. And again, like I said, by the time 9 was coming out, everybody was trolling it. Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, maybe Boyega 2 days ago isn't trolling anymore. It's of course it's pure hatred. I don't think, and even Daisy Ridley recently said that she believes her career is ruined because of Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't hear that before.
Yes, you did.
No, not well.
Oh, no. Okay, I understand what you're saying. You didn't hear that before the movies came out.
Exactly. Before these movies came out.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying.
And yes, it's happened before. I don't think Daisy Ridley's career is over. I don't think Boyega's careers are over because I think they're great actors. I just think they're given a shit show.
No, it's good. The guys like Ahmed Best, his career died because of that, but he was nowhere near what this Daisy is, and you know what I mean. So obviously that's going to happen to him. So. But John Boyega is going to be wanted. I mean, yes and no, because his other movies have flopped as well. You know what I mean? So that's kind of putting a damper on it too. But it's not Star Wars that's killing his career. It's the fact that other movies have flopped as well.
He's got a bad agent.
It's other movies have flopped.
I love Boyega though. Boyega is such a he's a class act. I love him.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's wrap this up, guys. We've been going for an hour and 12 minutes. It's about average. So with that said, go ahead and tell everybody about where you can be found and all that good stuff. Anzo, go ahead.
What up, guys? Like I said, you guys know where you can find me. Biggaford Entertainment. I mentioned all the shows at the beginning, so if you really want to know, just rewind back and you can hear all the shows I said. Just wanted to say very good conversation and topics today, so great show. I appreciate it. You know, I love being here.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, Danny, tell everybody about yourself.
I am Danny, aka Comment Chat. You can find me on YouTube, Comment Chat. You can find me on Twitter, Comment Chats too. Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can find me on the Chaotic Conversation on Mondays and Chaos List on Tuesdays, which is Anzo's show. And I think tonight will be the new show time. Is Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can find us here on the Rule of Three. Also Saturdays, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I do a sports show with Anzo and Diesel and Min Diesel called Square One, mainly NFL, NBA. Please check us out. Sundays, if I'm not working, I can be found at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Equilibrium, where we have not finished up our discussion on Stargirl, but maybe one day we will do it. But as soon as we roll out of Stargirl, we'll be rolling into The Boys too, because I think they start next week, if I'm not mistaken, season 2. So we'll roll from one series to the next. So I know that's a lot of shows to watch, including with all three of us. But please pick one or two, support it. Please subscribe. We need your subscriptions. I'm trying to get to 1,300, which is my next milestone. And I only do that with your help. Also, you can catch me and Anzo and sometimes Chris on Storms Live. Usually go 4 or 5 times a week. So we're out here. We have good content. Please join us. Please click. Thank you again.
Oh, and Chris, just to let you know, you might be getting a little message for Friday night with Rob.
Okay, cool.
You celebrate this 25,000 subs.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that went quick.
Yeah.
You might get 26 because he's halfway there now.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So maybe 26.
Did he mention Parasite again?
Nope.
The power of the Panther.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you again for being here. Appreciate it, guys. And to everybody out there in chat, thank you for watching. Again, yeah, we got lots of shows, but there's lots of time to watch replays and things like that. So check it all out. And with that said, guys, say good night.
Peace.
Bye-bye.